Hey guys, it's Angela with Word and Home. Happy Monday. It's not Thursday, as I usually go live then. It's Monday, and we are going to finish up our little snowman centerpiece. If you remember when we left off, it looked like this. Okay, I did add this, but I'll tell you what that is. But it started off like this. We used a charger in part one, and today we're going to finish it up. So go ahead, when you come on in, say hello, tell me hey, tell me where you're watching from, tell me something good about your day. If you don't see the red light button up here, then you're catching the replay. So just make sure you put hashtag replay in the comments, and then any questions that you have, you can drop those in the comments, and I will do my very best to answer those for you. So come on in. Hi Angie, hi Diane, and say hello. I'm not usually live on Monday, so if you are new here or you're a first-time viewer, I'm typically live on Thursdays, but I am not going to be able to be live on Thursday, so I bumped it to Monday this week. So I appreciate you guys being flexible with me, and we're going to finish up this little guy. So I asked for suggestions on a hat, and I went back and forth. I think I finally decided just to use a piece of felt because that's what I have in my stash. Hey friend, hey Lynn. Yes, I did part one last Thursday, and I just did not account for dry time on my snowman, so we needed to do a part two. So here we are. Hi Lisa. I'm glad you're with me. I'm glad you caught me live, Lynn. So here's our little snowman. And when we left off, this is just the head. It's going to go in the center of this. When we left off, I had glittered it, and it needed to dry down. And of course, I needed to put a clear coat on it, because if you work with glitter, you know it will come off, right? I mean, off of your projects. And I always try to seal it, so I use this. Hi, Rosemary. So I use this Rust-Oleum, and it's satin clear. Okay, you can use anything like this. I use this. I've used other brands. Walmart has a sealant that's on the craft aisle. You can use anything like that. But I always do this so that I can hold this glitter on, especially on my snowmen, because I like to glitter them, because you know I want them to shimmer. They are snowmen, but I don't like when the glitter comes off everywhere. So he is all glittered, and he is sealed up. I mean, sometimes some of your glitter is still going to come off, but it's not near as bad when you seal it. And I changed those eyes up. If you remember, see, the eyes are flat because they're buttons. Initially, I used some clay, just like I did for his little nose, but I didn't like it, you guys. I did not like the eyes, so I just popped those off. And I had some small buttons, and I painted them black. Hi, Sue. And I just put them on there, and I like the buttons so much better. They're so cute. You could use anything you want for this. When I shared the post that I had changed his eyes, there were a lot of suggestions on different things you could use for eyes. So you could always check that back too if you wanted ideas. Lynn, it does, and always, you have to do this outside, obviously, because it's so strong. So I usually give it a really good coat, and I mean pretty heavy. And sometimes I'll do one coat, let it dry, and then go back and do another one. And then I set it out. I do it outside, obviously, and then I just leave it sitting outside, and I let it dry. Maybe, I don't know. It's going to be plenty dry in an hour. The big thing with this sealant is you don't want the fumes. So you really want to let the fumes let it dry up so you don't have the fumes in your house. So, yeah, Dana says hairspray works too. Definitely. Okay, so he's all done. Now, I'm pretty excited to put all this together. I do want to do a hat on him, so we'll probably do that first before we start. Before I glue him in here, it's probably a good idea to put the hat on him. I have this piece of felt, and I bought a big package of felt from, where did I buy? I bought it at Walmart. I'm pretty sure it came from Walmart. They had a package that was rolled up. I don't know how much was on there, but it was on clearance. And so I just cut a section, and I was kind of playing with trying to do a hat, and I had this left. So we're going to try this. So I'm just going to kind of wrap this around his head and make sure, and just kind of see what it does. See if it's big enough. I think I'm going to really have to stretch it, but I think it will work. Yeah. Okay. So we're just going to kind of stretch it and put it around his head like that. See, and then we'll just gather the top. And there are so many, I really wanted to do a top hat, but I could not think of the best way to do a top hat. So I just thought we're going to use what we already have. So that's why I went with the felt. Yes, Angie, I agree. I love the buttons too. They do. They just really do something to bring him to life. Dana's making castings with her new IOD. I've seen that St. Nick mold. I have seen that. I keep seeing that everywhere. It's really cute. Okay. Okay, so let's try. I have my hot glue. I'm just going to leave this little... I'll trim this off, but I'm going to leave this top part sticking up because I don't know what I'm going to do. I may just gather it all up and kind of like a stocking cap, but I'm not going to cut that off yet. It's going to kind of be low on his little face like that. Okay, so let's put a dab of hot glue right here. Okay, and we'll let that set, and then we'll pull it across the back. Hi, Connie. Hi, Carol. Hope everybody's having a good week. I've got a crazy week ahead of me. Just, you know, lots of stuff to do. We're gonna have to be Mr. Wardenholm and I have to be out of town this week, so I'm trying to get all the things done. I know you guys understand when your schedule gets a little bit messed up. You gotta go with it. Okay, let's put some right here. And then on Friday, I'm going to Branson. If any of you guys are from this area, well, you don't have to be from this area, but if you've ever been to Branson, it's not very far from me. So it's a fun trip for us. We can get there in like 3 hours or less. So it's a nice little, it's a fun little trip for us to do. So we're going to go hang out there for a few days. Okay. So see, now that I have it glued on here, kind of see, we're going to kind of gather that up. So it'll kind of look like a little stocking cap. Okay. Now, I just have to decide how exactly, and I'll probably put a little dab of glue on the back too to kind of hold that in place. Oh, thank you, Angie. I think he's going to be cute. I think he will. Okay. Just need, I'm using this hot glue gun. My old one just kind of went on me because I'd used it so much, and I'm using this one, but it's not cordless, and I'm really missing my cordless glue gun a lot. Yeah, it's close for you too, Connie. Hi, Jenny. I'm glad you're here. Yes, and I don't know how busy Branson will be. You know, if you go to Branson, I mean, sometimes it can be really busy, but now that school's back in session, I'm hoping it won't be, you know, it won't be too busy. We'll see. Okay. Okay, I think I can cut this little piece off. But it is quiet. It's a kind of a quiet, I feel like it's a quiet place to go. And we like quiet. Okay. So I think I'll gather it. And then I'm going to thinner strips, you know, and let those stick up, I think. Hi, Kathy. Watching in Colorado. What's your weather like, friend, in Colorado? Mr. Wardenholm is jealous. I think if he could live anywhere, he might live in Colorado. He really likes it. He loves the mountains. Okay, so we're just gonna, I'm gonna use a piece of string to tie this up. We may put something else on top of it. Let's see. Let's tie it up in the center here. Just gonna hold it, and I may take this back off too. Okay. And now I'm just gonna kind of cut these in strips. I've done this before when I do these, and you can do however you want the hat. I just think it looks kind of cute and whimsical when you do it this way, but we'll see how this turns out. And then sometimes they'll kind of fall down, and let's see. That's gonna be cute. You're ready for some cool fall? Me too, Lynn. I think we're supposed to start cooling off. Dana, you know what I do? I have one of those. I just don't get it out to use it. I need to work with it. I haven't used it enough to really get comfortable with it. But I do have one of those. I need to get it out and just use it more so I would get a little more comfortable. Okay. I'm kind of a creature of habit when it comes to things like that. I'll get something new and it just takes me a while to warm up to using it. Okay, let's do maybe a couple more little strips right here. Okay. And then you can kind of pull those, let those kind of fall over if you want to a little bit. Or however, I may trim them up a little bit. Okay, so we've got his little hat. I think they're a little long, so we're gonna cut some of those off there. Don't want them to look like a court jester, however you say it. Okay, and cut these off just a little bit. Kind of let these fall over. And then I think I need to let's maybe cut this one a little bit thinner. Okay, so it's got just a fun little hat. Okay, we'll see what we can put. I don't know if I like that string around there. So I may end up adding something on top of that. But let's set him on our base and let's kind of see what he's gonna look like. I think he's gonna be cute. I almost feel like maybe I need to raise him up a little bit. Let me see if I have another piece of styrofoam to maybe give him a little bit of height. Yeah, I know. Thank you, Brenda, for sprinkling. Angie, I had a Sure Bonder hot glue gun, and I still have it. It's just I've used it so long. I think it's just gotten old and kind of worn out. Oh, Connie, I didn't know they had. Hi, Dawn. I did not know that they had a scrapbook store in Branson. If you know the name of it and you can share that with me, I would love that, Connie, because I would love to go visit. Oh, bells would be cute, Angie. That's a good idea. I may try that. Okay. I think I have another piece of styrofoam. I feel like now that I have my stuff in here and I'm going to add more, I feel like he needs to be up. I don't want him to get lost in all of that greenery. So, let's see. Maybe I'll add this back. And that will give him just a little bit of height. I don't know if that will stay if I glue it like that. I could put, let's see, make like a little, maybe just a little flat space on the top with my tool here maybe, because I don't have my knife in here. I like to use my serrated knife on my phone, because it works really well. You just have to be really careful and not cut yourself. So I'm just going to dig out like a little divot. And I think he'll sit on and down in that. Let me dig it out just a little bit more. And that way he can kind of sit in there and give him a little bit of stability, but raise him up at the same time. Okay. And you could use anything for this. You could use a wood block or whatever you have. I just had this on hand, so I thought this will work. I like to keep, okay, perfect. I like to keep all my extra styrofoam just for that. Oh, thank you. Scrapbooks forever. Awesome, Connie. I would love that because, and my mother-in-law will be with me, and she'd probably like enjoy seeing that too. Okay, so I'm gonna put lots of hot glue right there. And then we're gonna press this down. We're gonna kind of hold these two together. Yes, Angie, exactly. I have some more greenery that I found that I had in my stash, and I think I'm going to add that too, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. That's why it's always, oh, this may not stick. Maybe it will. Maybe it's just going to take it a minute. I may have to use toothpicks or picks, you know, to attach the two of these together. I thought the glue would dry and hold it, but I don't know. It's not seeming to want to. Okay. Here's where your skewers, I always like to keep these too. So I could, you know, just put a skewer on there to help hold it. Yeah. It's just kind of melting. Okay, let's put this through here. I knew it would melt that styrofoam a little bit, but I thought I would be able to, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I thought I would be able to attach it. Okay, I'm just going to press his little head down on here. Okay. So that raised him up. That raised him up, okay? So now, like Angie said, we'll just fill in all around him. with all of our goodies. We got a big old mess. Let's put some of this stuff in here. Okay. So let me show you the greenery. I'm just going to leave his little hat alone right now. I'll finish that. Figure that out in a minute. So I have this greenery, and I bought it for a project. They have this greenery at Hobby Lobby again this year. And so these picks are like $1.50 each. But they have a little shimmer to them. And I had some left from a previous project. So I thought I would just sprinkle some of these around him. So you could dig into, thank you, Lynn. Yeah, ta-da. Oh, Kathy, yay, you made the cardboard snowman. I love cardboard. And thank you. Thanks, Angie. Thanks, Lynn. I like cardboard because, first off, you're recycling, you know, you're reusing something you already have. And secondly, sometimes my stuff kind of gets torn up or whatever, you know, when I pack it away, it doesn't always, I'm not always gentle with it, we'll put it that way. And so sometimes it just gets kind of beat up. And if I've made it out of cardboard, I don't feel as bad about having to throw it away. Does that make sense? So I love, and I mean, a lot of times you can't even tell the projects are made from cardboard. Okay, so I have another little sprig. And I'm just going to hot glue these and start kind of just tucking them, maybe. Tucking them in my the existing greenery that I shared with you guys on Thursday. I just kind of cut these apart. I have a plastic tub over here, and I just keep like, whoops, dripped. Greenery that I find on clearance, or greenery from, you know, that I have left over from a project. I just tuck it all in that tub, and then when I have projects like this, I always have extra. Thank you, Karen. I think he's gonna be cute. I really do. Once we got that darned, yeah, that's gonna hold, I feel like. Eventually it's gonna dry down. Once we got that darned styrofoam painted and glittered, that's the most time consuming part. And then sealed, of course. Once you get, if you do that one day, and then the next day you'll be able to you could put this together pretty quickly. Okay. So let's snip this. And I also found some pine cones, some little stray pine cones that I had. I found, these are from Dollar Tree, and they're called berries, but they look like snowballs. So I thought we could tuck some of those in there. And of course we're gonna put our bow. So whatever you wanted, I mean, I think it'd just be super cute. And you know, I started thinking, you know, you could do a gingerbread man this way too. I think you could do a gingerbread man face maybe on there, and put some gingerbread theme stuff. And Walmart has a ton of, gosh, I'm just making a mess with this hot glue. Walmart has a ton of gingerbread pieces this year. They have the ornaments and all kinds of pretty stuff. So any of those would be pretty too. Okay. So let's tuck this one into, and I've got plenty of styrofoam in here, so we could tuck this up around his face. And I'll show you what I mean. So kind of like that. So you won't be able to see, you know, all the green and the stuff in there. So we'll just tuck lots of these little goodies in here. I think he's looking pretty cute. So let's turn him around and add some more greenery on this other side. And I have some stray little picks from my stash. Oops. Okay. Put this in here. I made a little bow, and I'll show you guys that ribbon. Just a simple little bow. And this is from that Hobby Lobby ribbon. And this will be around his neck. I'll probably put it like over here. Maybe I'll have to tuck it in there. But it matches those little deep red picks. It matches those really nicely. Thank you, guys. I think he's gonna turn out really sweet. If I can just get all my little goodies poked in here to camouflage. Okay, I think we'll put this bow, maybe tuck that bow right there. We'll have to see, have to figure out exactly where to put that. I might want to remove this piece and use it somewhere else. If we put the bow here. And I just tied a simple bow. Okay. Let's see. Let's maybe cut a little bit off of these. We'll dovetail this. And if you're watching this video but you missed the first part, you can go back on the page and it should be the last video because it's from last Thursday. So still on there. And you can catch that and you can see how he started, how we got started with him. Okay. Maybe, might be better if I I'm wondering if I put this on a pick and stick that pick into the styrofoam, it might work better. I want my bow to be, I'm just kind of playing with it here to see if I stick this on here, what it's gonna look like. I'm just gonna give it a try. I'm just gonna put a little bit of hot glue on that. Put our pick on there. Okay. This will take just a second to dry down. And then kind of put it up to his face. You could put ribbon all the way around his neck, or you could put like somebody mentioned earlier, a scarf around his neck. I think I'm just going to do the bow, but you could totally do a piece of material and kind of wrap it around that, around the green base styrofoam right here, and it would look like a scarf, and that would be super cute. Okay. Not quite dry. But I do have some more. Sorry, I've got a sack. I've got all my stuff. Of these, and I loved this color of red. I thought it was really pretty. Okay, so let's see. So I just kind of put his bow in there like that. If you wanted to, you could put it on the front. Okay, so just totally, if you wanted the bow to be more front and center, you could put it in the front. So it's just all about your, your preferred placement. Okay, but I think he's coming together really cute. Okay, so we'll put a little bit more greenery in the back. And then I have a few more things that I could add if we have room. Okay. Look up our greenery. And then I've got this little pine cone right here that we could add. Could add this up by his face. I think it might just be easier just to maybe hot glue this. There's so many things you could add. You could add to it to fill it. Okay. And then I have some of these, so we may as well use them. Okay, put that there. And then maybe we'll put another one over here on the side. And depending on what color of ribbon, what color of ribbon you use for his scarf or his bow, you could just do whatever color, whatever color theme you want. He's gonna be really cute, I think, sitting on the table. Oh, thank you, Rosemary. Thanks, Kathy. Yeah, I think he's cute. I think he's really sweet. Okay, so because this ribbon, it kind of has a little bit of almost looks like burlap background. I did cut a few little sprigs or a few pieces of burlap, and I thought I would dovetail the ends, and then we could just kind of gather those up, and it'll kind of look like that, and just tuck it in here, okay? But totally, like I said, this is just preference. Whatever look you want or color, color combo you want. Okay. Okay. I feel like with my hot glue gun, it's either super duper hot, and today it seems like I've got it too hot and it's like melting and running everywhere, or it's not hot enough. I can't seem to get the right temperature for it. Okay, so let's add a couple more of those. And I don't know how long this piece is, you guys. I don't know, maybe 6 inches. I don't have a tape measure or anything over here to tell you. I'm just gonna dovetail it. Maybe add one right here. And again, I'm just kind of gathering these up and kind of holds it together. Try not to burn myself. And then let's see, we'll just tuck it. Maybe tuck this one right there. I kind of like that. Okay, so it's gonna look something like that with those little pieces in there. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna add as many as those as I thought. I think I'll add another one to the back for now, and then that may be all of those that I add. Something like this, these kinds of projects, I could just keep adding stuff, you know. Keep going. I like this. I like the shimmer that we have on this greenery that I just added today, and then on those red ornaments, they have a nice little shimmer to them. So I think it's all going to work together. Oops, work together. I don't know what I just tore up, but I'll fix it later. Okay. Okay, maybe one more. I lied. Because I kind of have a bare spot back here, so we're just going to fill this in. Because if he's sitting on my table, you're going to, you know, you'll be able to see all the way around. So can't have any bare spots. Tuck him. Tuck this piece here, and then maybe, let's see, one more piece of greenery. We've got a little piece. Okay, we'll tuck this in. Okay, so let me show you what we've got. So there he is so far. I still don't know what I think about the tulle, but I do like, I like the greenery and how it's all working together. Yeah, I'm covering it in the back, and I've got it covered pretty nicely. Because like I said, you will be able to see the back of him if you're sitting on the other side of the table. So, but I think he looks really sweet. Okay, we're going to kind of fluff this ribbon right there. So that kind of... Okay, so I could add a few of these. And these already, you know, they come wrapped like this. And these are from the Dollar Tree. So let's see where should we put these. Just gonna kind of poke these in random spots here. Probably won't do a whole lot of those, but I think they're kind of cute. Let's see. And then maybe one right here. Okay, I think he's pretty darn cute. He needs something on his hat. So I need to bring a little bit, I feel like a little bit of this color up here. His hat's a little drab, so let's see. You mentioned bells earlier. I think Kathy said bells, but I don't know if I have any bells here. I might kind of put a within reach, and honestly I don't know where my bells are. Okay, we're just gonna kind of put just a little piece, just a little dab of hot glue to hold that down on there. Maybe. Okay, having problems with my hot glue today. Doesn't want to work with me. Thank you, Anne. You like the toile? No worries, Anne. I'm glad you were able to hop on with us. I don't have a small poinsettia, but that would be pretty, Lynn. That would be. I don't think I have any Christmas flowers. But he needs something. He needs some red or something on his hat. And I have a whole tub of Christmas, but it's not easily accessible. I have some snowflakes. Actually, yeah, I have a snowflake. I painted some snowflakes earlier. Let me run grab a snowflake, you guys. I painted him and I left him in the garage. Okay, I'm back. So we had some of these little snowflakes. I did Christmas, like a Christmas preview box, and a lot of people bought them, and I had these little snowflakes, and I will be offering these in my Christmas stuff, and that's coming out next week. But they're just little woodcut snowflakes, and I think we could add one of those on there. Just on his little cap, maybe. What do you guys think if I just stuck it on his little hat like that? Just a little snowflake. And then, I don't know what I want to tie. I want to put something else around that top, but we could put just a little white snowflake on there too. Some of these, yeah, these would be cute too. These are just white. We could pop those on there. I really like the snowflakes too. I'm trying to think. Okay, I'm gonna put one little snowflake right here. And then I don't know what I'm gonna do on the rest of his hat, because it needs some color up there. Yes, Kathy said yes to the snowflake. Okay, Lynn said it looks good. Okay. I like that too. I think that's cute. I'm not done with this hat, but I just don't know. Having trouble. I'm gonna snip this off. Maybe. Golly, that was some tough string. Okay. So he's pretty cute. Pretty darn cute. But I still feel like we need something up there. And I'll definitely figure something out. White tinsel wrapped around it. That would be cute. I have some red tinsel, but I don't know if it matches this red. You know, the red that I already have on there. Oh, thank you guys. It's pretty darn cute. So I'm going to call him finished, except for something up here. And I may, I don't know, I may add some bells, some little rusty bells, or some bells would be cute. I just feel like we need a little bit more up here on the very top, like maybe a little bit of color or something. Maybe tie a ribbon around the ball of the hat that matches the bow. That would be cute. Just cut a thin strip maybe of that ribbon and wrap it around. That's a good idea. I'm gonna think on it. I'm gonna think on what to put around the top of that to add more to it. But I think it turned out pretty cute. He's gonna look really sweet sitting on my table. And I know there's red on there, but I may leave him out all winter, even after Christmas. I think he'll be really cute on the kitchen table. So this is, you guys, this is our little snowman centerpiece. And like I said, even you could make him however you want, whatever your Christmas colors are. You know, I kind of went traditional, I feel like, with the red, but you could do any, they've got all colors, different colors of ribbon for your felt. If you do a felt hat, they have, Hobby Lobby has a ton of different colors in the felt. So you could do any color imaginable, whatever you liked. Just, yes, not another bow, just something around it. Okay. Hi, Mary. Small bells, small pine cones. That's cute. Thank you, Carol. Oh, Angie, a Valentine's snowman would be cute. Do you know I even have, I've got some really cute heart ribbon that would be really sweet. Yeah, because I'm like you. Thank you, Kathy. Oh, Mary said a tiny nest with a red bird. That's a cute idea. You know, Mary, it would have to be small, but I bet I could find a tiny nest or make one, and then try to find a tiny bird. That would be cute. A red bird. I love red birds. Thank you, Connie. My mother loves cardinals too, so that reminds me of her. Okay, guys, I'll share a picture and I'll let you know. I'll show you what I decided to do on the top, because you guys have given me a lot of good ideas. So thanks for hanging out with me. This is our little finished snowman centerpiece. I hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to sprinkle if you enjoyed this video. And if you're hopping on this video and you missed the first part, be sure to go back and watch Thursday's live to see how this all got started. Okay, guys, have a great week, and I will see you again soon. Bye, friends.